Born in London, England in 1757, William Blake was a poet, artist and spiritual visionary. He began drawing and writing at an early age, depicting a vision of angels at age 10. Blake trained as a copy engraver when he turned 14. While continuing his writing and artwork, during the course of his life, he created hundreds of artistic engravings, many of which were combined with poems. Although his works were not widely popular while he was still alive, he is now considered a leading artist and poet of the Romantic Age. William Blake was also an inventor. He created an engraving technique known as relief etching. This approach gave rise to what he referred to as illuminated printing, which combines art and print to create beautifully hand-etched manuscripts. English author Alexander Gilchrist stated in his book Life of William Blake, 1863, that Blake neither wrote nor drew for the many, rather for children and angels, himself a divine child, whose playthings were sun, moon and stars, the heavens and the earth. We now present to you excerpts from the book The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. In this book, William Blake explores the extremes of opposing forces, also known as spiritual duality. He describes good and bad as simply being different types of energies. Blake also maintains that both are necessary for human existence. As he says, without countries is no progression. The reader is thus invited to reflect upon the true nature of these opposites and to even transcend their apparent duality. The argument. Rintrah roars and shakes his fires in the burdened air. Hungry clouds swag on the deep. Once meek and in a perilous path, the just man kept his course along the vale of death. Roses are planted where thorns grow, and on the barren heath sing the honeybees. Then the perilous path was planted, and a river and a spring, on every cliff and tomb, and on the bleached bones red clay brought forth, till the villain left the paths of ease to walk in perilous paths and drive the just man into barren climes. Now the sneaking serpent walks in mild humility, and the just man rages in the wilds where lions roam. Rintrah roars and shakes his fires in the burdened air. Hungry clouds swag on the deep. Without countries is no progression. Attraction and repulsion, reason and energy, love and hate are necessary to human existence. From these countries spring what the religious call good and evil. Good is the passive that obeys reason. Evil is the active, springing from energy. Good is heaven, evil is hell. Proverbs of Hell. In seed time learn, in harvest teach, in winter enjoy. Drive your cart and your plough over the bones of the dead. The road of excess leads to the palace of wisdom. Prudence is a rich, ugly old maid courted by incapacity. He who desires attacks not, breathes pestilence. The cutworm forgives the plough. Dip him in the river who loves water. A fool sees not the same tree that a wise man sees. He whose face gives no light shall never become a star. Eternity is in love with the productions of time. The busy bee has no time for sorrow. The hours of folly are measured by the clock, but of wisdom no clock can measure. All wholesome food is caught without a net or a trap. Bring out number, weight, and measure in a year of dearth. No bird soars too high if he soars with his own wings. A dead body revenges not injuries. The most sublime act is to set another before you. If the fool would persist in his folly, he would become wise. Folly is the cloak of knavery. Shame is pride's cloak. Prisons are built with stones of law, brothels with bricks of religion. Excess of sorrow laughs, excess of joy weeps. The roaring of lions, the howling of wolves, the raging of the stormy sea, and the destructive sword are portions of eternity, too great for the eye of man. The fox condemns a trap, not himself. Joys impregnate, sorrows bring forth. The bird a nest, the spider a web, man friendship. The selfish smiling fool and the sullen frowning fool shall be both thought wise, that they may be a rod. What is now proved was once only imagined. The rat, the mouse, the fox, the rabbit, watch the roots. The lion, the tiger, the horse, the elephant, watch the fruits. The cistern contains, the fountain overflows. One thought fills immensity. Always be ready to speak your mind, and a base man will avoid you. Everything possible to be believed is an image of truth. The eagle never lost so much time as when he submitted to learn of the crow. The fox provides for himself, but God provides for the lion. Think in the morning, act in the noon, eat in the evening, sleep in the night. He who has suffered you to impose on him knows you. As the plough follows words, so God rewards prayers. The tigers of wrath are wiser than the horses of instruction. Expect poison from the standing water. You never know what is enough unless you know what is more than enough. Listen to the fool's reproach. It is a kingly title. The eyes of fire, the nostrils of air, the mouth of water, the beard of earth. The weak in courage is strong in cunning. The apple tree never asks the beech how he shall grow, nor the lion the horse how he shall take his prey. The thankful receiver bears a plentiful harvest. If others had not been foolish, we should have been so. The soul of sweet delight can never be defiled. When thou seest an eagle, thou seest a portion of genius. Lift up thy head. As the caterpillar chooses the fairest leaves to lay her eggs on, so the priest lays his curse on the fairest of joys. To create a little flower is the labour of ages. Prayers plough not, praises reap not, joys laugh not, sorrows weep not. The head sublime, the heart pathos, the hands and feet proportion, as the air to a bird, or the sea to a fish, so is contempt to the contemptible. The crow wished everything was black, the owl that everything was white. Exuberance is beauty. If the lion was advised by the fox, he would be cunning. Improvement makes straight roads, but the crooked roads without improvement are roads of genius. Where man is not, nature is barren. Truth can never be told so as to be understood and not to be believed. Enough or too much. Insightful viewers, thank you for your company on today's Words of Wisdom.